Hello, internet world. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. We're joined this week by my friend and training partner, Anikha Greer. We were inspired by the training think tank concept of doing a workout, filming it, going back and watching it after with a little bit of commentary over it. Anikha, why don't you let the people know what the workout was?
Oh, it was so much fun. So it started with a 50 cal row, and then it was 50 chest to bars, 50 burpees to a target, 50 toes to bar, and then back for another 50 cal row. Initially, it was programmed to just a 6-inch target, and then Noah had the idea, brilliant idea, to do the old last chance qualifier standard where you jump kind of sideways to a target on one side. So we did that. It was probably a little bit taller than 6 inches, I would say, right?
Yeah, I think we tried to measure it out to be just about that, but it's definitely a different dynamic reaching with one arm rather than both overhead.
It's definitely a little bit harder, but yeah.
And that's about it. Without further ado, let's watch the workout. We'll talk about it as we go. And go. Yeah, Max was hanging out, supporting us as he always does. Max the dog, not Max the coach.
He also does that.
What were you thinking about this row? Obviously, when you open up on a row, you don't want to go too fast that you're going to suffer the rest of the workout, but you don't want to go too slow and fall way behind.
Yeah, I was hoping to hold a pace that I did not. This was, I will add, my last piece of the end of a training week, so I was feeling very fatigued going into this. I think my goal was to hold about like mid 11s, high 11,000 to 1100s
That would be
on
fast.
the road. That would be, I would crush it. And that was my plan until I got to like halfway, and then I started falling into the high to mid 1000s, which wasn't ideal, but we kind of just hung on for the first 50.
Yeah. Did you ever, when that happens, do you panic? Or you're like, oh man, I'm already like not sticking to my plan? Or do you have something that you tell yourself that helps to ease your mind, even if it's not going according to plan right away?
I think especially in training, for me, I just try to focus more on my effort. If I know that I'm giving it everything I have in that moment, then that's kind of all I can do, but it is a little frustrating. But again, remembering that it's the end of a training week and I'm trying my very best.
Indeed. I think I was shooting for 14 to 1500 cals per hour on the row, and I think I was able to hold it the whole time. It was like a smooth but fast effort. I didn't feel like it was blowing me up too much. In fact, I think I maybe picked up the pace somewhere along the way because I'd started a little conservatively. That's something that I think I've learned over the years. Like, I used to often come out hot on workouts, and even though you're in the lead at the very beginning, if you fall off, that's where you're placed at the end of the workout matters way more than at the beginning of the workout. So sometimes starting a little slower and being able to go faster at the end is better.
Yeah.
Learning as I go.
I really didn't think 1100 was going to be too fast for me at the beginning.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's too aggressive either.
No. We had very different workouts.
Well, it was actually funny because this was, I think, Wednesday, and I came into the gym with super low energy, wasn't really feeling it. Thought, you know what, I'm just gonna kind of wing it, see what I want to do today. I didn't have any programming, and had done a silly backflip trick, which will be on Instagram potentially soon, and did some sandbag stuff. Well, you had done a very difficult sandbag piece, and hopped in on this with you last minute and was thinking like, I don't know, like Anikha's probably gonna kick my butt. We'll see how it goes. I ended up feeling okay. So just finished the 65 cals. Anikha just finished her 50. That was pretty good trade-off. Starting on the 50 chest to bar, I think that we had both said ahead of time our plan was to go like moderate sets. I think I went 20, 15, 15.
Yeah, so that was my goal too. And honestly, I think in a competition setting, I would probably do like 30, 10, 10. Because I'm pretty good at chest to bars. Like, they're a strong movement for me. And I remember jumping up for my first set and feeling my left grip like folding every time I would come up, and I was like, this is when I realized I needed new grip. So I was having some technical issues, and I got a little bit in my head because I was annoyed that my best movement was feeling not great. So I ended up breaking them up more than I wanted to. I think I did 15, 15, 10, 10.
Not bad still.
Yeah, still fine,
4
but
sets
I think
instead of maybe 3.
Yeah, for a movement that's a strength of mine, normally I can catch up, and I felt like I was not doing that, which
Yeah.
isn't. But I mean, again, I was just making the best of where I was at.
That's all you can do. Make the most of what you got. It's interesting in this situation. I remember racing and thinking about, I couldn't tell exactly how many reps you were doing, but I could see that you had done a set, quick rest, and we're hopping back up for another set. And so in my mind, I'm always gaming like, okay, try to jump back up a second before she jumps up. Even though you could be 10 ahead, 10 behind, I just like, you find little places to game it and to race. And I got competitive there in that sense.
Yeah, I also normally do, but I think like,
Played your own game there.
yeah, at that point I
that's-
was just trying to like get through the chest to bars without tearing my grips so that I could do the toes to bar.
Yeah.
And you had already started your burpees, and I was just kind of like, fine, Noah, I'll see you later.
That's probably something people are curious about, and I myself deal with that differently every time, but similar to on the row when your pace fell off, how do you not get discouraged if the person that you're racing against moves on to the next movement? Does that make you panic? Like, oh man, I gotta catch up somewhere? Or are you like, it's fine, you're fast at burpees, you're gonna be okay? Like,
I think it depends on the workout. Like, yes, if you know that like you have a movement that you're very good at coming up, like don't blow yourself up so that you kind of lose that too. But I think it depends. I think here for me, I was realizing that I wasn't really in a competitive, not mentally, but like physically, I wasn't really in a super competitive with you on
so
this.
in this moment, you're not thinking like, okay, push hard and catch him.
I think part of me was like, it'd be great if I could. Like mentally, I wanted to, but I knew that physically that wasn't going to happen. I saw like your pace, and I was like, this is when my left arm. Honestly, the most annoying part of this workout was that the burpees, I didn't feel like super fatigued, like cardiovascularly, which like often on burpees is the case.
Just that
my
one arm
left
reach.
arm was blowing up so
I remember you
much.
saying that.
Oh my god, it was so infuriating, and I wanted to at 25 switch and use my right arm, and then I was like, I couldn't because I was gonna kick your rower.
Right,
So I was like,
yeah.
you just have to suffer with your left arm for 50 reps.
Yeah.
That was honestly like the most frustrating part for me, because I was like, I could get back down on the ground faster, but I literally can't lift my arm any faster.
I hate
So-
when you're limited by something that's like, in theory, that's part of fitness, but it's not like your
Yeah.
true fitness.
Yeah, I mean, I had to do that last year's qualifier workout with the 100 to the one
Yeah,
touch. Like,
yeah. Same
you
concept.
have to be able to do it, but it was so frustrating.
Pleasant surprise on this workout. I was just reminded by her wagging tail in the back, but we both
Oh yeah,
had our
Zoe was
pups
here.
there. Zoe
was
and Max
here.
were
She's blending
holding
into
it
the
down.
background.
I think we agreed that the winner of the workout got to keep both of the dogs, and
Hey, Zoe's.
you guys
all
will have to wait
yours.
to find out who gets who. Blew it there. That's okay.
Well, I made a miraculous recovery on
Anything
this
is
workout.
possible. We are doing 50 burpees. I think my idea of pacing here was just to be smooth and keep the same pace the whole time. I didn't speed up, I didn't slow down. And because that can be kind of boring to watch for 50 burpees at the exact same pace the whole time, perhaps we can speed things up here.
There we go.
50 toe to bar. My grip was a little fatigued here, and overall general like breathing fatigue. So I said, even though I went 20, 15, 15 on the pull-ups, I was gonna go smaller and faster sets here. Went 10s across the board, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, let's see here. I didn't count the first set, so.
This feels like more than 10.
It does. Did I do 15? Maybe I went 15, 15, 10, 10. We'll find out on this next set, but yeah, I
I'm
think
still just trudging my
chipping
way.
away. You're doing great, buddy.
That's what I was telling myself too.
Max seemed very uninterested. Zoe was pretty
Zoe
interested.
was concerned for my well-being. Max is used to this. I think I definitely did 10s. I think actually when I jumped up on the toast bar, I was like, oh, I feel better than I'm expecting. I think my like arm was making me so annoyed that I was thinking I was like in way worse pain than I actually was. So I jumped up on the toast.
I missed it.
I look like I was having fun.
I
just-
did confirm 15, 15, 15, which puts me at 30, 10 and 10, yeah. But do you think, so if I think I was at 15 in by the time you got there, is there any chance that like, if you did 30 and 20 super fast realistically, that anybody could close that gap? Like if I was the one that was behind, you had already gotten 15 toe to bar in, is there a world in which somebody can close a 15 toe to bar gap? I'm not sure.
I don't know. It depends on I feel like you would have to do a huge set and the other person would have to really slow down.
Yeah.
And to close the gap on the workout, I would have had to row faster than you. And I just, considering the first one, I just knew I probably wasn't going to on the last set too.
I was actually nervous about that though, because I had to do 15 more than you, and so I was thinking if she gets on like 5 calories behind me, technically she has a 10-calorie head start and could catch me. So that was kind of in the back of my mind. Little strategic thing that you could probably only do in the gym and not in a competition, but with 10 toe to bar left, I walked over and started my row screen so that after my last set of 10, I could just jump on and get going, which here we are.
I knew I was gonna, just based off the first one that you got off before me and based off how the first row felt for me, like my legs felt super heavy on the row.
Yeah.
Even just starting, and I knew I would feel more fatigued. Oh, I remember my core on the row feeling going from burpees
that
to toes to
lean back is tough. Yeah.
My core ended up feeling brutal, so I knew I was gonna end up, I think I still have another set of 10 here.
While we get to watch your last set of 10, do you have any strategy tips for people that are watching?
I do the same thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you have like a faster burpee pace and a slower, I'm sorry, not burpee, fast toe to bar versus a slow toe to bar that you use in different situations? Is it always the same?
I think 90% of the time it's going to be the same pace. I think I just have a pretty fast toes to bar cycle speed because I'm not very long.
I got to teach you my hyper speed version.
So the butterfly ones.
Like where you like,
yes,
yeah.
I can do those and I will do those if it's a workout in which like that makes sense. So like if it was like a super sprinty, like a full blown sprint workout where if like you had 20 toes to bar and then like you only had to do them once, like 20 of something, and then like move down like a super fast chipper, then yeah, I would do those if it didn't matter. But like in a workout like this, I don't think it would have been like the right move over 50.
Yeah, fun background story on that. At the games in 2020 when it was like just the 5 of us out at the ranch, there was a workout that was I think 30, 20, 10 toe to bar and kettlebell walking lunges, and I did that fast version of the toe to bar at first and got off like at least 5 reps ahead of everybody else and had a lead until the end. And there's a guy named Matt Frazier, most people haven't heard of him, but he caught me on the last set of lunges, which nobody was surprised by. And at the end though, right after the workout, he's like, dude, what did you do on the first set of toe to bar? Like, I thought you only did half of them. Like, something was wrong there. And it's just having that in your arsenal. Like, that was a workout in which that made sense. I was able to do the fast version at the beginning and then settle into my regular ones to where it didn't like blow me up completely. So it's a good tool to have. Chipping away at the row, I remember being super tired, but just like, sometimes I just try to go into this monotonous zone of like, just keep pulling steady the whole time. Like, don't think much, just do. I think I was like right around 12 to 1300 calories per hour here.
I had started under 1,000 because I remember my core being like surprisingly, I typically like feel like I have a pretty strong core when it comes to like GHD's toes to bar, like do pretty well in those events, but my core wasn't really feeling it here. I don't know, could be an accumulative fatigue thing, could be the combination of the burpees and the toes to bar. So I started rowing like under 1,000 and I was like, come on, Anika, get that up. Then by the end I got it up. But
I am done. I don't know what my time was. We probably have a handy little timer on the screen that'll let you guys know. I think it was like somewhere under 15 minutes. The next day was super sore in like the top chunky part of my forearm and my right bicep. I don't know if I was pulling a little harder on that side on both the row and the pull-ups, but got me pretty good. It was a tough one to just jump into on a whim, but I'm glad that I did.
Yeah, I feel like if you hadn't done like a ton of gymnastics since row, like until this workout, and doing chest to bars for the first time after like a break, my like inner biceps get very, very sore.
For sure.
I
get a little Zoe love here.
Somebody is very
She's so happy.
She was very concerned for my well-being.
Lots of kisses.
Yeah, she was like, somebody please check on mom.
Yeah, that's what she whispered to me. Is she gonna be okay?
No.
It's like, yeah, Zoe, she's good.
She's not good. Yeah, I think finally I gotten it like mid 1,000s again, and I was
looks like a good finishing kick.
Close my eyes and get it done.
Nice little chipper. Good bit of rowing in there, good bit of gymnastics. I feel like that's probably like a mid-range workout for us in terms of what we would normally excel in, right? We're not the strongest machine people, but we're pretty good at gymnastics. So
Yeah, this I think if it was in a competition and I was fresh, would, and the
Good one.
burpees maybe weren't. I don't know if that's just something I need to do more of, or if like I honestly don't know. But I remember that one arm felt terrible. I think if it had been like a sort of different kind of burpee and fresher, that would have felt a lot different
Yeah.
for me. Because I think on paper I was like super excited for it. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this looks like a fun metcon. Like I love gymnastics.
3/5 of the workout were gymnastics.
Yeah, and I was really hurting. So
Well, good job, bud.
Yeah.
Proud of you. Thanks for letting me jump in.
did our best.
Good luck down under.
Oh,
We'll be seeing you guys after that.
hopefully with 2
Gold medals.
W's.
WW.
No, that's like this is the douchey W.
It is?
Yeah, I feel
no.
like this is like a douchey thing to do,
It's a
right?
butterfly.
Oh yeah, I guess. I like this W.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. See you never.